Hello, this is Obed Zeme here. I'm here today to show you how I convert my regular electric guitar into a lap steel guitar. Lap steel guitars, I'm sure you know, most of you know, some of you might not know. So lap steel guitar is the one which you often see and hear in the country music. Where they keep it on their lap and play, or they keep it on the table and then play with a slide steel bar or slide glass. So today I'm going to show you how I did that by using a regular guitar like my old guitar. So I convert this guitar into a lap steel guitar to get that kind of typical country feel, also to play that typical blues slide guitars. And I also want to share how I tune up my guitars, how to play the simple blues by using this kind of tuning and by using the lap steel guitar. And the third one will be, I will also share how to get a country style, country feel, by using these tuning styles and by setting up these guitars into a lap steel guitars. I'm not the one who has done this the first time, but there are many people who have done this long time back. I got to do this because there was a record which I supposed to play a country style to get a country feel of that song. So since I don't have any of those guitars, and it's very rare thing out here. It's a Western typical country, style. So you get those. It's a traditional instrument. So you get most of them in the States. So out here I'm doing it with my regular guitar to get that feel. I hope you like it. Once the record is out, I will share it to you guys. And that's it. Let's go and see how I set up. So this is how I have raised the guitar string by using this extra piece of nut which I've got from my old acoustic guitar, I guess. So now you can see the string gap. So it's much higher from a regular guitar. So this, with this string raised with the nut, you cannot, it is not playable actually for a guitar playing, regular guitar playing. For a steel lap guitars, the string height is still actually quite low. I could have raised much more than this, but this was serving my purpose, so I just stopped here because I don't have any extra piece. So this is the height of the string, so if you have to fret down, it is see, it is not touching the fret. It's quite difficult. You can't fret them to play a regular chord. So this is how I raise the string up by using the extra piece of nut, much higher than this. So original string steel lap guitar could be much higher than this. So this is how I set up the string height actually, so that I can play my slide without hitting the frets. I like first start with the tuning, and then it goes to the blues playing, and then there may be a bit of the country style. So let's start with the tuning. The tuning here for today is D drop, a D open tuning, open D tuning. There are other tunings also, like C6 tuning, which is very common and very popular for steel lap guitar. But right now I'm using an open D, which is also very common, which you can do nice blues playing, the blues playing style. So I am using open D tuning. So let me just show you the string arrangement, string tuning. The sixth string is D, fifth is A, and then fourth is D again. So that you have two D's here, and then this third string is the F sharp, the major third. So F sharp, and then goes to A again. The second string is A, the first string is again D. So basically the guitar string, the six strings are all a distribution of D triad, D major triad. Alright, so like we said, if we talk about the blues playing here, we all know the blues playing is a 3-chord playing. So if I am playing a D blues, so all my 6 open string tuning, I can just strum it. It's a D chord. And if I go to the 4th, which is a G, I can play the whole string. Then back to D, then 5th. So we're talking about 1, 4, 5. So the 4th chord is the G, the 5th is the A, back to root. So you can do stuff like that. So this is just a simple example of how you can play a blues just by using 3 chords. One is D and G, A and D. So besides that, of course, there are so many things that you can do. You can typically play a blues lick. Alright, so this is a simple blues playing, and then the second style of playing I'd like to discuss would be a country style, I would say. So since we rarely play here left steel guitar, I'm not an expert out here, but then the few things which you can do out of this kind of tuning. The first or the basic one would be to start with the 2 string chords or 2 note chords. So I'm still using D major scale. So since the string number 1 is tuned to a D string, I would want to play a D scale here. D, and then what is it? E, F sharp, G, A, B, and this is C sharp, D. So for us now is to use 2 strings, like I said. So I want to use here the string number 1 and the string number 3. So by default is already harmonized. So this is the first string, the root note D, and then try the major third, F sharp. So on the G string, since it's tuned to F sharp, by default it is already a major third or a major tri. Here. So if you play the first and the third string together, right, you hear a D major chord here. So the whole concept here is to harmonize the scale. Now the first note, the Do, the D, is already harmonized with the F sharp, the third. Now the concept here is to harmonize all the scale notes. So the second degree is E. So the E has to be harmonized with G. Okay, so this is G. So in order to play this note and this note, I got to incline my slide guitar, the slide tube like this, the glass. So this is the second note harmonized. The third note will be D, E, F sharp. So F sharp and A here. Again you incline. So it's a G here. So G harmonized would be by G, A, B. Alright, so G, the third degree is B. So G, now A. So A, third degree is C sharp here. C sharp. And then now go to B here. So B will be harmonized by D. D here, and then this is the B. D and B here. This is C sharp here. C sharp and E. C sharp and E, and then back to F sharp and D. So you see my slide inclining time to time. Let's go back. So this part is a little tricky when you incline or slant your tube here, slide a glass here. You can continue. Quite difficult here to play, but anyway, so it's all about how much you practice to get precisely slide down on the right play. So the straight bar much easier, and when you incline the slide glass it's relatively much difficult. Alright, now that you got an idea, so the whole concept here is just playing a scale. So this is on the first string, and then on the third string. Basically the third, the tenor. Once you get used to, sorry. Play actually 2-3 strings also at a time, but the whole point was playing 2 notes at a time. Okay, now the tricky part here is the right hand control. So if I play here on the straight glass, straight bar here, then I can play even 3 strings here. So when I play this incline, the slide, when I do this, I need to control the second string because it's actually giving a wrong chord. So now I got to mute this string with my other finger here. The rest of the string also had to be muted by my palm here, so that the rest of the string doesn't ring. The other one is the left hand control. So right now I'm just using it this way so that you can see it properly. But usually I play this way. I think we play this way so that this the remaining fingers are actually muting the rest of the strings. So the strings I don't play by default. Alright, that's not the best playing, but I hope you got the idea. Now, so left hand usually control the remaining string which I'm not playing here, the between string, which I am not playing, but the between string, which the string number 1 and 3, which is the second string, I'm going to be muting by my right hand. So that is how. Alright, once you get this idea, the last one would be to group them into chords. Like there are like 2-3 chords, the style which actually can be grouped together. For instance, this A chord, and then the 7 harmonized, which is usually the C sharp diminished, but you can consider this as A dominant 7. So now this 5th chord, which is A, so this chord, the T, the 7th degree chord, the 5th, this, since we're playing only 2 notes, it happens to be the inversion of the A major chord. So I can also play here, so here. My fret is not adjusted well. So this chord, the Re, the second note harmonization, which is the E harmonized chord, E minor actually, and then the A. So these 3 can be played together. Sorry. So when I'm playing country, I think the whole concept is so when you do this, you get that typical country feel. You can slide around the chord. A. So you got 3 A's here. Likewise, so this you can consider these are all A inversions. So once you do a little practice and research, you will get what are the notes out here. And then let me get into the next chord, which is G. For G also we have another group of chords here. Okay, this is the root note here. So these are the 2 chords, so you can match it and you can slide them together. Go back to root. So these are 2 chords you can use for G major chord. Whenever you play G major, so once you group these chords together, for G these are the 2 frets, and for A you have 3, 1, this one, and then this the diminished here, the 7T. Sorry, these 2 chords, these are 3 chords. So once you group them out, then between the songs, when you add the fillers or the chords or the solos, you can use this concept to connect the chords instead of just playing one chord. So suppose if I'm playing when the guitar is on A chord, so if I keep playing with just one A, so it sounds very monotonous. So maybe I can use. Sorry. So when I slide around these 3 chords, it sounds quite meaningful, and then it has lots of harmonies in a form of varieties. So instead of hearing just one chord every time, so you have 2 A's playing around with different inversions. So this is the whole concept. Similarly for G. And then the other one is typical country style or playing like, if this is a root, so this is actually dominant 7, so 7 flattened, dominant 7 chord, this will become D7 or a C major basically. Alright, I forgot something, the root note. So there's the root, and then the inversion here, first inversion, and then of course the root here again. Okay, so you have group like root has got two chords, and then the fifth chord A has got 3, one here, one here, main one here, the third chord here. So the fifth chord has got 3 set of inversion here, and sorry, 2 sets of inversion, combining 3 chords, 1, 2, so this is basically A7 kind of chords, So with these chords, 7 chords, available in your hand, and you can, do lots of, stuff and beautify your song. I think that's a whole chapter about today. Practice it, and then I hope you, become a better player. Experiment it. You can do this same thing on your acoustic guitar also, and it will have a very different feel out there with acoustic, but it's going to sound good. So you can, in fact, I'm not talking about a single string like solo type of playing. So you can do lots of single string playing also, but that become a different topic. That you can figure out. But the chord is a challenge here. That's the reason actually I am talking about the chords today. I hope this brings you some insight. Enjoy playing, and I hope you learned something from this video. If you have got something, practice it, and then if you come up with some interesting ideas or interesting music, do share with me. I'll be happy to see that. As for now, all the best for your practice. God bless.